Alright, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's weekly Everyman crossword. I think I'm going to start the same way I did last week, by looking for the primarily clue, which Everyman usually has. And here it is, 17 across, extremely vicious, insidious look, expressing your enmity primarily. Well, primarily is telling us to take the first letter of all of those other words, and it spells out evil eye, which is defined by the words. All right, let me try one down. Attacks putting Belgium on edge, sun. Well, sun is usually simply referring to an S. So I wonder if this is going to, yeah, I mean, the definition then would be attacks. But what, putting Belgium on edge? Well, maybe we have the country abbreviation for Belgium, and then a word for edge. So I presume it's going to begin with a B. I don't know what the is Belgium, just simply a B. Yeah, there's probably a lot of barrages or something. Excuse me, something like that. Yeah, don't get it, but let's try one across. Jazz genres providing hits. Ooh, well, there's bebop and hard bop, jazz genres. Yes, maybe it is bop, Charlie Parker et al., and then the S, jazz genres S, and so bops would be hits. It's a funny word, but I can see it. So then camera loving, ooh, something like photogenic. Goofy pooch get in. Yes, I think that is an anagram of photogenic at the end. All right. Having lost front of tome, fussily laminate one on bookshelves. Well, having lost front sounds like wordplay. Oh, maybe it's a word for having lost, and then the front of tome would be a T, and then fussily laminate, I think, is going to be an anagram of laminate to give us one on bookshelves. But what is, yeah, I don't know. And I'm also thinking laminate is 8 letters, so can't be an anagram of that. Oh, I'm wondering if laminate could be the outer letters of, say, fussily, the F and the Y. But what is one on bookshelves? Well, in the US, there's TV Guide, although that wouldn't be on your bookshelf. Oh, could it be a writer? A. Milne. I sort of like, yes, oh. Yeah, I mean, I had all the pieces, I was just putting them together incorrectly. So I think one of the skills you develop, and I'm still working on it, is as you solve the crossword and you have all these different ideas, keeping an open mind and being ready to rearrange them. I noted that laminate had 8 letters and we need 7, but it does say having lost the front of tome, so we take away the T from laminate, and then I think if we do anagram those, we get A. Milne, creator of Winnie the Pooh. All right. In France, thousands mobbing idiot in city on the Med. So I think it must be a city on the Med in Marseille. Um, let's see. Now, the in France, I think, yes, I think it's the French for thousands is going to be mille, Milles. And I think they are mobbing an arse. Is an arse an idiot? I mean, an ass is definitely an idiot. An ass comes from arse, so I suppose it is. It just seems funny, but I think that's how it's working. All right, medical supports after runs undergone change of direction. I'm thinking change of direction is could be the definition, but it could also be wordplay where in some other word you have an E, you change it to a W for west, or you have an N for north, you change it to an S for south. In fact, RUN might become RUS. So is it going to be medical or medical? Yeah, I think it might be medical. And then, but then supports. Well, supports can be bras. We've had that. It can be beams or something architectural. No, I don't see it. Ivanhoe novel. All right, I'm thinking we're going to anagram Ivanhoe. Almost perfect. Beats me. So I think it's going to be a phrase that means beats me. I have no clue, maybe? Certainly in Ivanhoe, we do have I have no, I think. Oh, no, I think it's I have no idea. Perfect would be ideal, but it's almost perfect. We drop the last letter. I did wonder if every man was referring to this clue as almost perfect, but no, I think that's it. All right, how about in report? So immediately think a homophone, and when I see vegetable and it begins with L, I think of a leak, and that's prepared by whistleblower, would be an LEAK. I always, well, I shouldn't say always, but I often have this problem of trying to decide which is the one we're supposed to put in the clue. But I'm thinking since it says when you hear it in a report, you think it's a vegetable. But I think it should be the other way that we put in the one prepared by whistleblower. Well, we will find out with the crossing word. Anyway, second time, every man's shown up. Stop. Every man is going to be I or me. Of course, yeah, shown up means reverse it. So I'm thinking S for second, T for time, me backwards, and if you stop something, you stem it. All right, how about this? Bring together in the morning bits of seaweed, pal. Oh, I think it's going to mean bring together. In the morning could be AM. Bits of seaweed. I think pal is going to be mate. Ooh, yeah, there's some word for seaweed. Or maybe it's just actually we take some of the letters from seaweed, but no, I think it might be. There's some term, scientific term. Anyway, I think it's going to be amalgamate. And so is algae. I mean, I know algae, ALGAE. Bits of seaweed, is algae or algae, I've heard. Is that related to seaweed? I'm going to pause and look it up. Yes, it's some photosynthetic organisms of aquatic or moist habitats and does include large seaweeds such as kelp. I think kelp is what I was trying to think of. All right, so here's our medical support now. Our medical. No, don't see it. I did skip over my woodwind member. I'm thinking oboe, regularly going for broke. I think within for broke, if the even letters are O, B, O, E. Yes, there we are. Okay. Attacks. Well, yeah, this was our. Ooh, yes. So I think we've had the word before. Broadsides are attacks. I think from the days of naval warfare and the cannons in the side of the ship. I think that's what it comes from. Anyway, we do have B for Belgium, and then the edge would be the roadside. So, in a very specific context. Anyway, that's good enough. Omit one of the Soup Dragon's friends, Goof. Now, the Soup Dragons were one of those old BBC animated series. Or were they? Oh no, I think they were a character on the Clangers. Oh, and that's it, exact. That's the key to the clue. So if you goof or make a mistake, then you drop a clanger, which would be the same as omitting one of the Soup Dragon's friends. Again, you have to be of a certain age, and I think they'd stopped showing the clangers by the time I started watching those. They did show Noggin the Nog, which even as a small child I recognized that was, I suppose because it was black and white, that was very old. But I don't remember ever seeing the clangers, but in retrospectives or whatever, people would reference them. And then the band, the Soup Dragons, took their name from that. All right, I still don't know my medical. Yeah, gonna have to come back to that. Oh, kill 27. Is that going to be a... Oh, we don't have a 27. Well, that answers that question. With tongs, that's cold. Oh, so it must be an ice. So to kill, I think, is to ice. So how do we then get a 4 letters ending in E to be 27? It's not the Roman numerals. 27. I have no idea. So then what can I think of? Maybe, yes, with tongs part of the definition or the wordplay. And then, yeah, if it's wordplay, then that's cold. Ice something. No, don't know it. How about dined and jeered? Seems like a double definition. Yeah, I don't, other than boo something. Boozed? No. Some Yeti dies tragically, being extremely trim. So I think, yeah, it's a hidden clue. Luckily, we had that D, so from the T in Yeti, we have tidiest, extremely trim. How about ghastly, double German? Oh, well, I did think of a German phrase for your double as your doppelganger. Um, it seems to fit. I'm just not sure how, how we're supposed to read this. Let me put it in for the moment. Is it the German for ghastly double? But then that's a very straightforward clue. But I'll look it up and see what they say. Well, doppelganger is literally double walker. They say it was coined by Jean Paul in a novel of 1796. So I don't quite get that, and it may turn out to be wrong. Let's go back to the Downs. An inspiration, bold, old, university, radical, getting dainty snack. Ooh, well, I think it might be a dainty snack. It could be an inspiration. I was thinking something like an angel finger, but obviously with that E, I'm very sure of that E, because that was the primarily one. So could it be an inspiration? Bold, old, university, I'm thinking is going to be B-O-U. And then a radical, yes, I'm wondering if the B-O-U might be here. And in which case, I think the first word, 5 letters, an inspiration, it might be A-N and then something for, well, of course, inspiration, I think literally might be breathing in. So something, oh yes, I am thinking of a dainty snack, is amuse-bouche. So an inspiration might be a muse. Yeah, that's good. In the standard meaning of inspiration. And then after our BOU for Bold Old University, our radical is Che Guevara. Very useful in crosswords. And amuse-bouche. I think I probably learned that from one of those cooking programs like Top Chef. All right, so now I think it's just a nice cube. Oh, 27 is a cube. There we go. The cube of 3. And then with tongs, I think is just part of the definition. All right. Let's try our 13 down. Puddings, good and bad, consumed. Nice feelings later. Ooh. Could it be puddings? I'm thinking good is going to be that G that is consumed along with bad. And then nice feelings later. Oh, yeah, I'm actually thinking that's the definition. If you still have nice feelings after the initial prompt, then you might have an afterglow or afterglows. And the puddings, very English word, afters or afters, if you prefer. Yeah, we never called our desserts afters. We never even said pudding. I think in Britain, pudding can often be a generic term for dessert, whereas I would always think a pudding is literally a pudding. Well, then, of course, you can argue about what is a pudding, a plum pudding, a chocolate pudding, etc. Anyway, our good is G indeed, and bad is low. They are consumed by the afters. All right. Oh, so now we have a nice F there for dined. Not wolfed. Quaffed. I think you can quaff, but how is that? Oh no, scoffed, of course. Yes, you scoff your dinner. Or you might scoff at somebody, of course. Misguided, idealist, embracing alternative leaders. I think misguided might be telling us to anagram idealist, which is 8 letters. That's embracing alternative. O might simply be R. And then the definition is going to be leaders. Let's try the anagram helper. There's no shame in it. Idealist and R. And leaders. Well, the S is probably going to come at the end. Yeah, I'm just, yeah, it's probably going to be AD, ID, add. Oh, I was trying to think of leaders as in dictators or presidents, but in a newspaper, the editorial is sometimes called the leader. I think that might be specifically British terminology. All right, lengthily describe one-time currency. So one time might be X, and a currency would be a pound, and if you go on and on about something, you expound. Novelist, well, I'm thinking Tolstoy. To clasp, but regularly dropping. Chihuahua. Okay, so, I'm seeing, yeah, I don't know how I would get Tolstoy from to clasp, but regularly dropping. Yeah, don't see it. And Chihuahua, could it be some, and maybe that's the definition, some kind of toy dog, or of course Chihuahua is a place in Mexico. All right, back to the crosses. Drunk, romances, eminent lawyers. Drunk could be telling us to anagram maybe romances. And then we have a word for eminent, and it's going to mean lawyers. I am wondering something like forecourts or... Well, romances could be courts. Oh, yes, maybe it's something for drunk, something for romances, and then it's eminent lawyers. High courts, yes. We've seen before where high is used as a synonym for drunk. There we go. Star in river's reflection. Well, the suppose best known river in England would be the Avon, and backwards will give us Nova, reflected. Indeed, strayed wildly in times gone by. So strayed indicates an anagram, but wildly does too. But where can we get 10 letters? I think the definition will be in times gone by. Oh, I'm thinking of yesterdays. Yeah, so I think yet indeed is yes, and then her days is an anagram of strayed, so it goes wild, and that gives us that. All right, demands. Well, with the letters we have Surely it's asks. And chores would be tasks, but the T for temperature is dropped. Here's our dairy product. I'm thinking this must be whey, although I think I only know it from a nursery rhyme. Anyway, with drug additive, for what reason? Yeah, for what reason is why, and it has an additive of E for ecstasy, which is the go-to drug in these crosswords. All right, herb, or herb if you prefer. Cycling for a long time. All right, cycling in wordplay means you move the last letter to the front, and you may have to do that several times. But I think here we start with sage, and we just move the S from the front to the end, so this was the other direction, and we get ages for a long time. Yeah, this definitely looks like Tolstoy. I'm going to pause and sip my coffee while it's warm and see if I can make sense of that. Yeah, so I think actually I was onto something when I said a Chihuahua could be a toy dog. So, novelist 2, well, 2 is literally 2. Clasp, but regularly dropping, we just take the even letters of clasp, the L and the S, and then that leaves us with the toy. So the question mark indicates that's a bit of a stretch. I suppose you might refer to it simply as a toy, but it would be implied that it was a toy dog, I think. All right, just the one left, which is this medical supports after runs, undergone, change of direction. Oh, salons of some kind, or yeah, let me pause and think about this one. Well, I did think of saline solutions, but I didn't like that, so I did go to wordplays.com and I saw the word splints, which definitely seems more like medical supports. But I still don't. Oh, yeah, so runs in this case is sprints. And so I was close with the change of direction, but it's not the cardinal directions, it's left to right, or in this case, right changes to left. All right, I think that's all correct and explained. I hope so. If I made any mistakes, please let me know. But that was enjoyable as always. Anyway, thank you as always for watching and have a wonderful day.